So welcome back. Like I mentioned in my last video, I like to start with new cars, especially these BMWs, having a fresh battery in them. So I went and picked up a new battery. I'm going to install that today and code it using Protool. It's really simple, so you guys can do this at home, and I'll show you just how simple and easy it can be. I'm getting started early this morning because it's been hot as balls lately and I'm sweating so crazy. I got up super early this morning. Anyway, let's get started. So first things first, when you disconnect the battery, make sure you put a towel down over this. In BMW's infinite wisdom, if you close the trunk and there's no power and this thing locks, you're pretty much screwed. So make sure you throw a towel down. That way you don't end up having trouble getting back into the trunk later. This is really straightforward. This is where your battery sits. You just disassemble all this stuff. I'll show you how it's done. Throw the new battery in there, turn the car back on, code it up, and you're done. This should literally be done in like 30 minutes. Let's get started here. 10 millimeters to take the battery tie down off, or this support bar. Disconnect the negative battery terminal next. 10 millimeter also. Alright, next disconnect this nut here on the IBS. Also 13 millimeter. Some Hercules put this on last time. Now in order to lift this clip up, there's a small clip down on the side here. You just reach down and pull that forward, and then you can lift it up. I'll show you with the camera, but you kind of need two hands to do it. Seriously, BMW, why do you put these dumbass clips on things like this? Especially in a place where you can't see anything. Alright, that thing's a pain in the dick. Can't see it very well, but there's this little bracket. Stick the screwdriver down in here, yank up on this, rip up, it pops off. Curse out of German, you're done. Disconnect the battery vent tube. Lift up from here. Clear out the cables a little bit so you have some space. Should be handles for you to be able to reach and lift up directly, and then up it comes out of your way.
Alright, so the battery is out of the car now. Normally these have little stickers that have dates on them. But I've checked all the way around this battery and I don't see any stickers, so I don't have any idea when this battery was actually manufactured. So I guess it's a good thing to go ahead and change it anyway. You see a little color coding here. Green, black, yellow, insufficient charge. I guess that's about as insufficient as it's going to get. So it's good to go ahead and change this battery anyway. So I've got a Die Hard. I picked that up at Advance Auto. I think it was about $170 roughly, something like that. But anyway, I looked at the numbers. You roughly want to try and get, this is a flooded battery, flooded cell, not an AGM. This is also a flooded cell battery. This one actually only has 570 cold crank amps when this one's about 730. But the amp hours are roughly equivalent. So this one is 70 amp hours from BMW. This one has a reserve capacity of 115. So there's a calculation, I'll put it on the screen, but there's a calculation you can do if your battery does not have amp hour rating. You can derive the amp hour rating from a reserve capacity. So this one's actually roughly equivalent to 73 amp hours, which is about the same as this. So the car should already be coded for a 70 amp hour battery. What I'll do is I'll register it anyway, and I'll just kind of go through that that protocol in the screen so you can see it in Pro Tool. Alright, so I actually like to start with the battery up here in the car already. Less of a lift to put it down into this little spot down here. Try and get your cables up out of the way as best as you can. Alright, then you just do everything in the reverse of what you did when you took it out. Make sure you got everything out of the way, you didn't have anything pinched. Reconnect your vent tube right here. Now you can slide that back down. Plug all those cables back in. I like to get the positive side down first and do the negative terminal at the very end. So that's what I'm going to do. Grab these nuts, snug them all back up. Finger tight for now. I'm sweating my balls off already. It's only about 77, but it's humid. I'm glad I'm not doing this afternoon. Dying. Make sure this didn't come unclipped, because sometimes it does. Get our battery tie down back in place. Battery located in the right spot here. Now, so snug these down, and then we can go after the last. Once you get these tight, then you can put your negative battery terminal back on. We'll go inside the car, and I'll show you how to code everything. All right, so we're in the car now. I got Pro Tools pulled up. I got my Bimmergeeks. I guess that's a Bluetooth version of their OBD2 plug. And now I'm going to code up the car here so you can see what it looks like. We're going to connect. You guys all get to take a look at my sexy legs while we wait. Alright, so we're going to go in here to the battery swap. See if I get it to focus. Battery swap. Alright, this one is going to be an 80 amp hour standard, like that. It'll ask you if you want to proceed. Operation successful. So that is it. So now you can actually go back in here and look, and you can look at the battery history. And it'll say the current mileage, last battery change mileage, and you are done. So that's it, finished up, battery replaced. I looked at my watch, it's actually been about 35 minutes. Probably could have been done in about 25 minutes if I wasn't dicking around with that stupid IBS sensor trying to get that second clip off the backside and trying to film it. But as you can see, it's pretty simple. You can do this all at your house. I'm also glad I decided to get started early in the morning, because if you can see, I'm sweating like ridiculous amounts. And I've only been out here for 30 minutes. Looks like I've been out here all day in the sun, but I've only been out here for about 30 minutes. So anyway, Amazon guys out here delivering early. Stay tuned for some more things if you want to see what's going on as I continue to upgrade and work on and do maintenance on this car. Stick around.